So a lot of people use AI in content creation for ideas, for video scripts, but there is something that I do that helped me make better videos in pre-production, post-production, that can also help you create better videos. You probably still need your video editors. It will just become easier and better. So today we are in Claude. We can do this in different ways, but for now I just want to show you in the chat interface how we can do awesome stuff for our visuals, because this is not for scripts, this is not for intros, this is not for ideas. We are using Claude and AI for the visual, which is very unique. Not a lot of people do that. You can do Midjourney to create images and you can do stuff like this, but this is something else, something more connected to your videos. And I'm not saying Midjourney is bad, it's actually very good, but right now this is kind of different stuff, but still on the visual side. For example, quickly, what I want to show you is how well it can visualize data that you can use in your own videos as B-roll or as presentation, but I will show you what I mean later on. First, let's just start visualizing. So first I told him some numbers and some data that we can use just for the example, and I told him I made 20k last month, made 35 this month, and we'll probably make 40 next month. I'm creating a video where I talk about my income. Can you create me a clean, minimalistic, but very good infographic that shows this data? I usually tell him to create an infographic because I like infographics and I think it's a great word that like contains a lot of meaning to the AI, and it will probably create something amazing, but not on the first try. So if we tell them this, it will create, and what is amazing about Claude is it will start write the code for you. And this code, you can use different stuff and different things to bring it alive, but Claude by itself will do this for you, right? And this now is actually something that you can just like screenshot with your mouse, and you just screenshot it, and now you can put it into the video. But let's take it up a notch because this is very basic. And something I usually do is I just give them some company's design or somebody's design. You can give it to him, or even you can search on the internet and just put it in there. Okay, so I found a picture of infographics that I like, so I will just screenshot one of it and just tell him to use this as a guide for him. So make it more creative, visually appealing, use this picture as a guide for the style and the colors as well. And now we will check what is going on and what will happen, and you just have to play around in the beginning more of what the style is. If you already like play with it and you already have your own style, you just screenshot it and you can easily just plug that in, and now it becomes very good, very fast, because if you have long chats and you like want to do these visuals in one chats, you can do that, but you will use your credits much faster. Of course, I'm on a paid plan. As you see, it's better but not good enough, so let me play around with it more. I tried something. I told him to give it more color, more style, make it more interesting, use a different style of showcasing this. Sometimes you can just tell him to do something different. And right now I know you're like, okay, this is actually shit, but there are great things that you can do with this. Like I use it a ton for different projects, and it creates me like this right now. Okay, this is much better. This is much cleaner. You know, sometimes the text here is bad, but let's say that is good for us right now. But as you see, it's kind of bad. The best would be to take the code and actually put it in the video using the code, but that's more advanced. What you can do is click on publish, and if you click on publish and copy link, you will copy the link that you can just paste in here, and it will publicly on the internet we'll put it there. So now you can see this, you can screenshot the whole thing, you can screen record, because sometimes I ask him to create movement in the things. If you have a YouTube channel and you are teaching something, if you want to book more sales calls from your content, then just click on the link in the description and let's talk. And I will show you how I use stuff like this to make better videos easier, so I can create more content faster, get to more people, book more sales calls. And you don't have to have millions of subscribers to do this, you just have to make the right content, which is the key. So if you are interested in that, just look into the description. As you see, this is nothing like the screenshot we provided, and sometimes you have to fight with it to get what you want, but this is just the first step right now. We just have something that we visually show, and there is so much more that we can do with this, and which is much more amazing. Okay, I don't know if you saw that. This is now jumping, and the incoming animation was fucking clean. So if we could publish that and record this, like for example, I publish this, I'm the video editor, or I'm editing the video, I come here, I screen record, and then it shows up, this shows up, right? I just have to cut this recording in the video, and now it has an insanely very good animation that I can put in where I talk about this stuff. And this is very good, and this is for like just visualizing data. But what if you already have a video, right, and you want to edit over it? You can still ask him to create something for you if you already have the script and you just want to create something that amplifies what you want to say and just helps you out in the editing process. Okay, so I'm just getting a transcript from one of my videos so I can do this with AI. I told him that, hey, this is part of my script. Put the script there and just create an infographic that I can show while talking about this as a B-roll. Of course, prompting right now is just for an example. We could get so much better results if we prompt right. We tell him that you are the greatest designer, you are the greatest infographic trainer, you are creating insane infographics just from sentences that you get and so on, and just from scripts that you get. So there is a lot of capabilities and a lot of things you do. But right now, as you see, we have something that we can show when we are talking about what we are talking about in the video, right? And this is again for if you already recorded and you just put it above it, right? But there is something even more insane that you can do that is changing how you record things. If you don't record talking head, you probably record like this, like I record. So it's a loom over something that you show on the screen, right? And this means that you have something that you are showing to the audience other than your face. I have Claude that I'm showing right now. But if you watched previous videos of mine, sometimes I use presentation from AI. I use an infographic that is interactive that I can use to record over and just talk about the topic I'm talking about, but I have the presentation ready. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so basically you can give him a lot of information and it will make it much better. But right now I told him I want to create a video about how you can build an audience of buyers and not viewers, right? And I told him the main points. Now this is very shallow, right? So if you are planning a video, you probably plan it somewhere and you can just put the script or the plan in here and tell him to help me create a visual that I can go over, so I don't have to like create a presentation myself, right? And as you see right now, I can go on this, and if I publish this, I'm going to the link, and now if I'm creating a video, what I can do is I can just sit down here and say, hey guys, blah blah blah, today we are talking about this. And yeah, so the first thing is you have to identify your target demographic, and I talk about it, and you know it's just not there. I can also interact with it. I can click on this, I can change here and go here, talk about this stuff and then talk about this stuff, and this is actually very good. So now I have something unique in my videos that others don't have just by creating something with AI, right? And this is something that no one does, and it gives you an advantage in making stuff look good, making stuff look aesthetically pleasing, but without anybody creating a presentation for you or you doing like anything in a Google Docs, which is I think completely fine. Like I love Google Docs videos and I create Google Docs videos, but you have to think about like formatting. Okay, I will make this bold. Okay, I will make this bigger. I will make this smarter, and that makes it a little bit harder to prepare. But if you have a Google Docs, which is just your thoughts, which is just notes, and you just put it in Claude and you let it do its thing, then you have a presentation that you can go over, and it's just amazing. So basically you can visualize data with it and it will come out very clean, but you can also visualize your talking head script with it. So if you have a talking head video, and I have done this, I take the script and give it to Claude and tell him to tell me where are you creating visuals and where should I add the visuals, and I will add the visuals there. If you check this video, I actually have this created by Claude and I just put it where it told me to put it. And I have a bunch of different these types. I have basically a very big one I really like. I really like this one as well. So I have these that I just put in after I created the talking head video. So the editor, which was in this case me, had so much easier time because I don't have to think about creating the infographics. I only have to talk to Claude, who creates me the infographics. And of course, the next few years there will be changes and there will be more optimal ways to do this. But right now, using Claude is just so good to do this without any very big technical background. There is better ways to do this, but without any advanced techniques, it's so good to use this. And again, the third thing was just creating presentations for ourselves that we can go over live in videos. So it's our base, it's our notes, and it's our presentation. So after in the editing, you don't have to do much because there are stuff on the screen and people are looking at the stuff on the screen. You don't really have to care about retention because this will do the retention for you. And these examples, what I did right here, is probably the worst things that I have done so far. There are so much better things that Claude can do in this case, and I usually tell him to create it more visually engaging. I usually tell him to, I like it, just create something more interactive and different style. I usually tell him to create different styles, and I then can go and look what it makes. Of course, the very big problem with this, you can't really change like minimal things. So you can't really say, hey, I like this icon, can you bring it just 10% to the right? You can't really do this. You can say to him that, hey, change the create solutions to create solution. Let's say you can do that, but it's very hard to do minimalistic aesthetic changes that requires like graphic design, right? So you can't really do that. You can tell him that, hey, do something different like this is something different, as you see, but I can't really tell him to, can you bring down the middle one a bit lower so the other two form a V? Like, that's very hard to say. I can just tell him do something different or change the text, but that doesn't mean that this is the end result. Like, I can say, hey, this is too something, and that's very powerful. You can say to him, hey, this is too professional, this is too childish, this is too shallow, or stuff like that. And then if you can describe it right, it will fix the problems for you. Then you can download it, publish it, copy it, and you have it done. So that's basically how I use AI to do visuals for me.